Welcome back to my channel. This is Russell Does Stuff. I work 6 hours on Monday, 6 hours on Tuesday, Wednesdays if I have to. That gives me Monday afternoon, Tuesday afternoon, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Oh, happy days. I was out working yesterday because I didn't get all my work done. And someone approached me while I was working and got my attention. And I mentioned in a previous video that they needed an estimate for their property, and no one was coming out. So I got his information. Believe it or not, the number he gave me is no good, but I know where he lives. So I did a handwritten estimate and went over there. Now, I'm not looking for more work, okay? I got all I need, all I want, all right? And that's okay, all right? The word knows in the dictionary. This guy's a good guy. He pulled on the heartstrings and stuff, so I gave him an estimate. I've done hundreds of thousands of dollars in business from just people walking up and getting my attention and getting me off of my equipment and stuff. I didn't have to call them. It didn't cost me any money. Nothing. I advertise myself. People notice, well, that guy's always at the same time, the same day. He's so responsible. My guy's not responsible. You know, I get customers in the past like that all the time. You know, and seeing is believing. You know, I have a very good reputation for showing up and doing what I'm supposed to be doing. And they tell their friends, you know. I mean, just this year, I've turned down lots of work. I could have probably started another business out of all the customers that have come up and approached me. But I don't know who to give that to, all right? And I'm not going to set up another route like I did with Brandon, and I'm not going to sell anything. You know, I sell a couple of accounts, but 3 years ago, when I decided to only work till Wednesday or Thursday, I just got rid of the accounts. I wrote them a letter, sent them an email, thank you very much, reminded them that I showed up, was on time for 8 or 9, 10 years, that I was going in another direction, and I didn't leave them cold, high and dry. I set them up to where they could hire someone else, and you know, they won't have any issues in between me and the next person. I don't care who they get. I'm not recommending anybody because I've learned my lessons from recommending people. They'll burn you and make you look bad. You know, I have a friend of mine that's a home builder, and he recommended a contractor, and that contractor screwed those people over by $200 and some thousand. Okay, they're mad at him. They're mad at my friend. My friend was trying to help somebody, you know, and these people got, so, you know, it's not his fault. So I always tell people when they ask me, hey, you know anybody that does this and that? First things out of my mouth is no. And if they, are you sure? Then I add, I don't. And I make sure that they hear that a third time. I do not know and cannot recommend anyone to you. Okay, it's not like it was in the old days where you could, hey, you know, Bill does plumbing, man. He's my buddy. No, it don't work like that no more. Those days are gone. You know, it's a shame, but those days are gone. You know, back then, you know, somebody asked if you knew somebody you felt good. It was like a badge of honor. Yeah, I saved these people some money and some headache and some aggravation and stuff. And, Bill took care of them, you know. Those days are gone. So back to the point of this video is customers. How do you get customers? It's not easy. Getting your first customer is hard. Like I said in a past video, it was the hardest thing I ever tried to do was get one customer. But once you break through that one customer, the pieces start coming together. All right. I got one customer, then I got another customer, then I ended up doing the whole neighborhood. The reason I preach service businesses is because of one reason: mailbox money. They send you money every month. Okay. And if they skip a month or whatever, don't freak out, because they're gonna, hey, the yard looks terrible. Did you pay the lawn guy? All right. There's a rule in my business: do not quit an account until someone tells you to leave or don't come here anymore. Because 9 times out of 10, people have busy lives and they'll forget to pay their bills. All right. And you can pretty much tell what's going on when you're at an account. You can tell if the people got divorced, someone passed away, the house is about to get foreclosed on. It's just, you can learn a lot from your customers by just, looking around while you're at their house. You can tell when people are home and when people aren't home. If you don't want to be at this house because that person comes out and bothers you all the time, well, find out when he's not there and then, add his house to that day, But in order to get money every single month in the mail, you need to be in a type of business, a service business, or something that pays every month. Okay? When you cut down something, or you build that house, or you do that handyman job, eventually you're going to run out of things to do for these people, and you're not going to have any money next month. It doesn't grow back. My business grows back. I set up my accounts to where they pay me twice a month. All right. I had bills coming in around the 1st through the 15th. I had that round of invoices. And then I had from the 15th to the 30th, or 31st, 29th, whatever, 28th, whatever month we were in. So I had money constantly coming in. I didn't bill everybody on the 30th of every month, because I need to pay my bills and stuff. So I rigged it so that I had money coming in every month, all month long. Every day I was going to get a check. People were behind. I had a bill to pay or something. I'd go to the mailbox and boom, there's mailbox money. Pest control business. Those people pay every month. And if they forget to pay, guess what? You're at their house. Most of the time they're home. You can hand them an invoice. Okay. Hey, it's Jerry, and I'm here to kill your bugs. Here's last month's invoice. Can you check on that for me? Which, I have anxiety when it comes to collecting money from people. I'll do the work, but when it comes to collecting money, that's why some of the things I don't do, I'll find someone else to do them for me, like print my invoices out and stuff. Dan Rather, he had a paper route when he was young, and he could deliver the papers, but when it came to collecting the money, he just couldn't do it. And some people are like that. If you can't do something, find somebody to do it. All right. taking care of business. TCB, taking care of business. All right. However you, however you need to do it, take care of business. Okay. I had some lady, she didn't pay me for 7 months. She thought her daughter was paying me. I knew I'd get paid. I did it, and then, one day she calls me up. Hey, we're selling the house. I said, well, before you sell the house, you need to pay me. What? I thought you were getting paid. I says, nope. You said you were paying the lawn care and maintenance for your daughter, and I wasn't getting paid from nobody. So very frustrating. But guess what? In the end, I got paid. I had another customer. She wouldn't pay me, but I knew I'd get paid. 3 or 4 months would go by, and as long as I understood that type of customer and who they were and where, I would just keep working. And if they called to ask me, hey, can you do this and that? And I'd say, hey, can you get me paid up? Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to not pay you, and et cetera. And, and this and that. And sometimes it's a hassle, sometimes if people, make it too big of a hassle, I'll just tell them, you keep the money, I'm good. I'll do that all the time. Once I got established and somebody gave me a hard time, and, I just said, hey, you owe me nothing. You keep it. They have no power over me anymore. I'm not laying in bed every night trying to figure out how I'm going to get them to give me money. It's just how I do business. You don't want to pay? Fine. I'll go work for somebody who wants to pay me. You don't want to send my invoices in with a check, back with a check? I'll go work for someone else. All I am is I'm out my time, a little bit of gas and et cetera and stuff. It's no big deal. When you're first starting out, that kind of stuff will put you in tears. I'm gonna set this camera down for a minute. I wrote some of my thoughts up on the board here. Okay. Get something to point at here, an old vine. How to get customers. When I first started out, I had no money to spend acquiring customers. I called realtors. I called property management companies. I called people that were around or in what I was doing. Realtors sell property. As human beings on planet Earth, we buy houses, we live in houses, we drive cars, we sell cars. People make a lot of money buying and selling houses. People make a lot of money buying and selling cars, So I called realtors. Hey, got anything? I'm Russ. I'm your guy. You hear anything or need anything? You got a customer selling a house, needs it mowed, whatever? I'm your guy. Didn't cost me anything to have the conversation with this lady. And most people have a cell phone, and you're paying your cell phone bill anyway. Talk to your girlfriend, or you're using that to call in sick with, or whatever the job you got. You use your cell phone. Okay, your cell phone will make you money. All right, you can sell on your cell phone. You can call people on your cell phone. You can throw it at someone. You can do a lot of things with your cell phone. You quit paying your cell phone bill. Brandon, who stole my lawn equipment, he couldn't pay his phone bill all the time, so his phone was shut off most of the time. Property management companies. When I had Brandon working for me, I showed him how to do it. I go, give me the phone. Called one property management company. I just spun the dial on the internet. Called this person up. Hi, this is so-and-so at so-and-so property management company. Said, hi, my name's Russell. Ran into one of your property managers in the parking lot somewhere. I forget where it was. And they asked me to call. Oh, wow, all right. What do you do? I say, I do tree work. I'll get on your roof and clean gutters. I'll maintain and and mow your properties. Oh wow. I said, you're in need of any of those services that I provide? She said she needed pressure washing. I've done a lot of pressure washing. After all the lawns are done, and you're building up your route, you go pressure wash something. Okay, there's 24 hours in a day, 7 days a week to become successful. I was painting houses, I was doing pressure washing, I was hauling junk, I was doing everything I could think of. Anything these people needed, I would do. Okay, I had a truck. That truck had to make me money. All right, what's the point of having a truck? Go down by the lake, go do some fishing. Yeah, when you're retired, you do that. But you need a truck in this business. Okay? I called companies doing the same thing I was doing. Hey, Mr. A's Lawn Care and Landscaping, this is Russell. All right? I own a company that has dirty words in the abbreviations of its name. Do you ever come across anything that you're not interested in, or you're so busy that you don't want to do? All the time. These guys will give you jobs they don't want and people they don't want. They're sick of Heidi Hoo Hoo because she's always giving them a hard time and stuff. Hey, you want to buy the account off of me? I said, yeah, sure. How much you want for it? I tell you what, I'll mow it for 3 months. All right. You don't have to mow it anymore and I can keep it. I've done that so many times. Getting customers off of other companies in the same business I'm in. All right. And I build relationships with them. I go to their house. I sit at their table on their porch and shoot with them. All right. So I had 140 lawn accounts at one time. Do the math. All right. Talk to people, press the flesh. Somebody says hi to you, say hi back. Start up a conversation with them. I'm Russ. Don't ever tell them you just started anything. All right? You don't want to give the air of you just started anything. You're not that dog that got hit by a car. All right? You're a thriving, successful, responsible business. Give them some cards. Hey, you know anybody that needs anything, you have them call me. I'm your guy. All right? If you're going to church, keep it on the down low. But, someone asks you what you do for a living and they kick the door open for you, you tell them. I'm in the lawn care and landscape business. I'm glad you asked. Here's some cards. You're going to church, they're automatically going to trust you. Oh, he's coming to church on Sunday. He's got to be trustworthy, and they'll gladly pay your price. You don't have to wrangle with these people. Funny story is, I was going to church 3 or 4 years ago. The pastor of the church gave my name to the piano player. All right? Piano player calls me up, asks me if I could go out there and mow his yard. All right, you're not going to say no to the pastor. All right. So I had a guy working for me at the time. I sent him out there. The piano player didn't want to pay for his service that he got. All right. I couldn't believe it. I didn't make a big deal out of it and stuff, and then the guy called back and he wanted me to go out again. I said, you didn't pay for the last time, and you want me to go again? Yeah. When I'm there, I'll pay you. Sent Eric out to the guy's house. He wasn't there. I said, Eric, leave. We're done. All right. So I lost money on the deal. All right. I didn't badmouth the guy. I didn't, who knows what he was going through or whatever. But, stuff happens. Once in a while it rains. And you're going to get wet once in a while. Walk into the management companies. Walk into the real estate companies. Show your mug. This is your money maker, your face. All right? Show them who you are. Hey, walk in with some donuts. remember, I had no money, so I wasn't walking in anywhere with donuts. All right. If 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 I had a donut, I was eating it for dinner or lunch. You know, don't ever eat that stuff when you're out working. It hops you all up on sugar. It's no fun. So you go into these management companies, you press the flesh. You have your bullets with you, which is your business cards. You have your sword with you, which is your pen. I'm your guy. What do you got? You know, introduce you to as many people as you possibly can. You know, that's how I started my business, doing all this stuff right here. And then when I was out doing this business, people walked up to me like they did yesterday. All right? It's amazing how that works. You know? I never, ever, 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 ever paid to advertise this company. All right? I didn't know how to advertise on the internet. I had no idea how to make a website. You know, when I made a little bit of money, I asked people, you know, how much does it cost to make a website? A couple $1,000, you know. I think 4 years ago I paid to have a domain name, you know. A waste of a couple bucks that was, because I'm not computer literate, you know. The last thing I want to do is come home after working all day and open the laptop, all right, and start hackety hacking on it. That ain't my wheelhouse, you know. So sometimes I made wings for people who gave me accounts. I made them wings. I went over to their house with wings, made them on my grill, had a few for myself, but I made wings for people. They remembered that. They're out there advertising my business for free, so I'm going to give them some wings. Everybody likes wings. I don't know anybody who doesn't. All right. So this is how to get customers for free. You're going to have to do some things. It's going to cost you gas to drive to the management company. Whatever your cell phone divided by how many times you call, divided by how many minutes, divided by the bill every month will be your cost, you know, but you get unlimited calls, you know, so, you know, that's kind of crazy to try to break down, you know, the cost of calling people, you know, just don't do it. So, all right, well, this is Russell with Russell Does Stuff. All right, and Russell has done all this stuff. All right, easy peasy, lemon squeezy. All right. If you like this kind of stuff, subscribe. Okay. If you don't like this kind of stuff and you're just passing through, I appreciate it. If you want to do a stranger, a perfect stranger, a favor, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. I noticed a few of you guys out there are commenting, and if you have any questions or you want to share your experiences and stuff, comment. All right. I appreciate every single one of you who have subscribed. Okay. But that's how you get customers for free, baby. Have a great day.